Welcome back, YouTubers, to yet another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Catching.
I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me, well, he needs no introduction.
What's up?
For a minute, I thought you were being full bearer there, NJ. I don't know why, but anyway, it's another Q&A, so if you have questions, well, put the fucking questions in the comment box so we can answer them for you.
Because this is the important thing. We need hundreds more questions. So if you enjoy watching our Q&A, send in as many as you can. We'll add them to the list and answer them in good time.
I'll be happy with maybe 10 or 20, but hundreds. I mean, we're aiming high here with the British Fist with hundreds worth of questions. Anyway, we're going to get to your hundreds of questions, even though we're minimizing the time on these Q&As because of our lack of questions. We're going to start off with Nostalgia Freak, aka Mr. Factstater, a guy who you should subscribe to. Just search Mr. Factstater, and he just is one of those guys that just has a different opinion to everyone else.
Quite strongly.
And he's British as well, which is also good. So, I plugged you now, mate. Are you happy? Why have wrestling fans turned into analysts?
Well, let's do it. Let's change the question a little bit. How we came from fans who grew up loving the WWF, early WWE, and all of a sudden, why we're analysing it.
Well, let's start. Okay, so let's say 2010, when I got back into watching wrestling again, I'd say we were wrestling fans. We didn't really care about the business aspects of the business, or we didn't care about booking or how many times we've seen that match. I think we were more casual viewers, really, weren't we, Guy? I mean, you watched it every week. I was the kind of guy that could watch it maybe on, off, and I think what turned us into analysis was doing videos on YouTube.
I'll tell you what turned me into one. Why the WWE were pushing Cena so hard. That made me think, hang on, why is this guy being everyone? Why? And then obviously he's the money maker. So I think it's Cena, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we started reading dirt sheets and we started watching other people's videos and stuff, and it's that kind of thing which turned us into analysis. I mean, I wouldn't know about booking or anything, or heel heat or stuff like that if I hadn't watched people's videos here on YouTube. I'm not going to say names in particular, but that's pretty much what turned me into an analysis, and I can't get rid of it now. Whenever I watch a show, no matter how good or bad the show is, I'm still an analyst, and I just can't, even though I don't watch Raw or SmackDown or anything on a consistent basis anymore apart from NXT, I still feel like I'm an analysis.
And that's what's helped us to give our strong views in our videos. But as for fans, I think it's listening to wrestling shooters and what people have to say. They're starting to agree with us or think, you're right there, you're wrong there. I think that's...
Even if you're a subscriber to the WWE Network, if you're a casual fan and you subscribe to the WWE Network and you watch the Vince McMahon podcast, or you watch the Triple H podcast or the Monday Night Wars, you're immediately open to this world that has secrets behind what is known as kayfabe to a lot of these people. So even the WWE Network and the WWE itself are kind of changing people into analysts. Is how I should have said the word. I'm sorry, Mr. Factstater, because I know you're going to pick me up on that fucker. But yeah, so there are many different reasons. I think we pointed them out in that. But I think that is quite. I'm definitely going to put that one as the title of the Q&A.
In my opinion, even though I do start to criticise and look at the ins and outs of the WWE, I'm a bit different to you, as we've pointed out many times. Yeah. I can still watch it and enjoy some aspects instead of thinking of the story behind it.
Aaron Crace, would you like to see WWE bring back War Games or World War III? I think War Games wouldn't be a bad idea, maybe instead of the Elimination Chamber, which I think is kind of drawn out now and isn't really like that massive of a concept. And, you could maybe do that at a Survivor Series. World War III, I don't know too much about it, so I don't know. But War Games, I think they maybe at some point could incorporate it, even though I think right now that I'm not sure it's totally necessary, especially in a PG environment.
If anything, War Games, I think it should be a speciality one-off thing, just to have a special once brought back thing. World War III, come on. World War II was bad enough. We don't need World War III.
Well, at least we won. With the help of the Americans, of course. We really needed the Americans' help in World War II, didn't we, NJ?
Yeah.
And try not to say yes sounding too sarcastic either, NJ.
Yeah!
Something that apparently us Brits do oh so well at.
Yeah!
I think Triple H, though, apparently Triple H has been a fan of bringing back War Games, so...
Yeah!
Would you like to see WWE bring back the Cruiserweight Championship or the European Championship or the TV title?
No.
Yeah! I mean, the European Championship maybe... Well, maybe for someone like a Rusev, even though he's not really from Europe, but, you know, I'm just saying, maybe for, like, a specific people holding the belt, they could bring back the European Championship, but I don't think the Cruiserweight Championship, European or TV title really should come back in TNA or WWE.
Bringing in belts, I think the fact that the WWE are struggling with the Intercontinental and the US, bringing in another belt for them to struggle with, it's going to be too much hard work for them.
Too much hard work for all those writers out there that could barely write one belt. Do you think that TNA and Global Force Wrestling should merge?
No.
Because Jeff Jarrett and the relationships with TNA aren't very good right now. That would not be a good working relationship. It would be like a competitiveness inside a business.
That's slightly what I was going to say, apart from the fact that even though Global Force are really minute right now, I think the more wrestling companies we have to progress or give us variety, the better. Instead of putting them as one, cancelling down our different variety shows is not a good idea.
You know, if we said no to TNA and ROH, we're definitely going to say no to TNA and Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah.
Toby Pierce, do you think Rey Mysterio would have been as successful if he never wore the mask? I don't think he would have done, because I think the whole aura of his mask and everything was a big merchandise seller for the WWE, and I believe it's because of those merchandise sales and other such things as that, and, you know, a luchador wrestler appealing to the Hispanics. I think that's one of the main reasons why he did make it quite big in the WWE at quite a few points in his career.
Two things about Rey. Cultural thing was the mask, and second thing is the mask did play into some storylines. Even though the gimmicky, like, mask versus hair matches, you know, I can question those when it comes to wrestling. But it fitted in, so I think the mask played into his favour.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't have a mask in WCW, and, you know, I can't imagine having that in WWE, especially when you can make a fresh start with the mask and everything. But I think taking the mask off him in WCW was not a very good idea, but that's just me. Jack Dallas is a football question, so... sleep, have a little nap if you want. Mr. Parkin, do you see Man United winning the title this season? Also, do you think Gareth Bale would be an unnecessary signing in the summer? I don't see United winning the title. I don't think they have a good enough defence. I also don't think that their attack is anywhere near as good as it should be going right now. And I don't think they could really beat a Chelsea or a Man City, personally. So, no, they're not going to win the title. Also, about Gareth Bale. We have way too many people in attacking positions that are supposed to be top quality. And while Gareth Bale would be a very good signing and will obviously be a very good player for us, I also personally don't think that he is very necessary to a United attack, which already possesses a lot of quality. I don't think we need to strengthen in that area. I think we need to strengthen in defence mainly. And another thing as well, now I'm joking. Legit Sniper. Do you think CM Punk UFC's debut will end well, or will he lose? That's interesting, because I think a lot of people would tune into the UFC because they probably want to see him get his ass kicked, because he's a bit of a douchebag.
I think, to be honest, the fact that it's different to what he's used to, and he's putting more on the line here compared to Brock Lesnar, who's got all that body to protect him and stuff, I think CM Punk will have somewhat of an amusement time in this. He'll come out probably banged up, but I think he'll be fine.
Do you think he'll come out more banged up than he would if he was in WWE for a year? Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, I think they'll put him up against some scrub in the semi-main event of a pay-per-view or something. He's not going to be main event on his first fight, but...
Brock in the end. I want to see the rematch.
Oh, what, the rematch of all rematches where exactly the same thing would happen again? I think CM Punk, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know that much about MMA. I'll probably go and ask my friend tonight who knows a lot about MMA to see what he thinks, but I just don't know enough about UFC to know about the opponents and everything like that. So I'll say, yeah! Paul Erickson Alejandrino. Do you like the way I said that? If Daniel Bryan loses the Royal Rumble, do you think it would be a good idea to feud him with a heel Dean Ambrose and possibly a match at WrestleMania? I would expect something bigger. No disrespect to Dean Ambrose, but I know that it looks like the plans are maybe changing for WrestleMania. That's another question for another time. But I would like to think that Daniel Bryan would be in a bigger spot than having a match against the heel Dean Ambrose.
With me, I'd say hell yes. The reason I say this, because the rumour beforehand is Dolph Ziggler. Moving him from Dolph Ziggler to Dean Ambrose, who was against Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins. I think Dean Ambrose, even though he's been losing, he's still been in matches that's put Dean Ambrose in a okay place in the WWE. So for him to go into a feud with Daniel Bryan is still keeping him up there in a hot place.
I don't know. I just think after last year and the reaction that he gets, he should be in a bigger spot. That's just me. I mean, it would be good for both parties involved, but I just think Daniel Bryan deserves a bit better at WrestleMania. That's all. I'm not even like a massive Daniel Bryan fan. I'm just looking at the crowd reactions. Are you sick and tired of seeing Big Show turning heel and face for 1 million times? Don't you mean 100 million? That's more of an accurate response, more of an accurate number as to how many times he's turned. Yes, oh fucking yes. It's like they try to build him up as a monster, like out of nowhere, and then next month he's a crybaby, baby face, and then like Brock Lesnar comes in, and then all of a sudden he wants to go babyface, and blah blah blah, and then they're trying to turn him into a monster, and it's just so inconsistent with Big Show right now to the point where whenever Big Show comes on, I'm just like, I think I'm going to turn the telly off. That's kind of similar to Kane.
The horrible thing is, that's what I was going to bring up. Kane and Big Show, in my eyes, are represented as heels, bodyguards to people, backup, security and stuff. So to have them turn face and then to turn heel, I think you need to find what works best for them and go for a long run possible with that direction.
Thing is, it's got to the point now where even if you did go in a long-term direction with them, people won't buy it because they've turned heel and face so many times and they're sucking the heat out of most segments that. And it's like when they had a tag team match with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Like even the fact that Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns were in there wasn't good enough for me to think, you know what? I think I'll watch that tag match because it had Big Show and Kane in it, and I just don't care about these guys anymore. I just don't because they've been so inconsistent with them over the years, and it's a shame because Big Show and Kane, Paul White and Glenn Jacobs have been fantastic servants for the WWE and are probably two of the better performers of their generation. They really are. It's a shame.
The sad thing is, when they first put these two together, I know it's not related to your question, but Kane Big Show as a tag team, brilliant tag team, dominant, something that I was enjoyed watching. But then when they broke them up, put them together, break them up, and all that stuff, it really changed my opinion on them two individually as well.
Next set of questions is by RFV089. He asked us 3 questions. Usually does. He has a bit of an asphyxiation with 3 questions. Send us in 9. 3 squared. That's 9. That has 3. Or 3 cubed.
Yep.
That's 81, I think. Yeah, it is. Send us in 81 questions. 3. It's a perfect combination. To NJ, what's the best film that you've watched in the last year? I imagine you probably asked this towards the beginning of 2015, which means probably 2014. But give your best movie in 2014 and then best so far in 15, just to make sure.
This comes to be a bit of a struggle because doing it per year, I'm like, of all time, I can name some. But for that particular year, I could, again...
Just give a few.
There really weren't really my favourite movies. Like, I could go with the Hunger Games recent stuff. I got into that. So I'd probably go with Hunger Games, or if you'd come interview, that's one.
What about 2015? Any good ones so far?
Recently, not so far.
50 Shades of Grey has just come out. I suppose you've seen that, have you?
No.
It's not my kind of film, but maybe one or two ladies can learn something from it.
Maybe.
Hopefully our girlfriends. What presents did you get for Christmas?
Well, Christmas, you're going back a bit now.
Yeah. Oh God, my girlfriend's gonna kill me if I forget what she got me. I got a new laptop bag because mine is old and crooked. I got some chocolate, which you can see up there. What's a chocolate Santa, a chocolate snowman. Yay. I also got something that I could put on my bike, which shows how fast I'm going, which I will use in the summer. So that's quite useful. But also, what else did I get? I can't actually. Christmas feels so long ago now, doesn't it? You could say I got a new phone, but that was really a January thing.
DVDs.
Is that it?
I got box sets. I'm a huge TV movie box set collector, so I got the finishing episodes, seasons of stuff.
Well, you're easy to shop for, aren't you?
Quite easy.
DVDs, yes. If WWE had more interesting characters and feuds, do you think the fans wouldn't speak as much about match quality? Yeah, because when you watch a match, a lot of times the characters aren't that all that interesting, the feuds aren't all that interesting, and really all they have to talk about is the match quality. I mean, like, take NXT for example. Like, really, when I watch NXT, like the show they just had on, really, I was basing a lot of my review on match quality, because that is generally what NXT is all about. It's all about having great matches, but at the same time, I do think NXT has interesting characters. I do think NXT has interesting feuds, but I still think that match quality does determine a lot of it. It's like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They didn't have, a great match, but they told a fantastic story, and these are two very interesting characters that I'm very into right now. So that, and that as a main event separated it out from, let's say, Adrian Neville and Finn Balor, where they were just fighting for the #1 contendership. So that's how important I feel interesting characters and storyline and feuds are.
Well, I want to reverse this question, change it up a bit to prove that you guys are watching our videos and not just leaving us questions. Let's say, with the wrestlers we've got now, what feuds would you want to see? Because I think the WWE have given us majority of the feuds we want to see, and obviously it doesn't pay off. So my question is, what feuds do you want to see?
And would you really determine how good a pay-per-view is on match quality or the feuds and characters on the show? Sure. That's quite interesting. I think we'll end the Q&A there. Yeah. If you have any more questions, as usual, please put them down in the comment section below. We're trying to build up a good amount of questions, so maybe at one point we can do some sort of maybe hour Q&A. Don't know when. I don't know if there's any important milestones or anything coming up, but we're trying to build up some questions for that possibly. So yeah, MJ, you sign us off.
And thank you very much for watching. This is a video where you get to see the British Fist together again as one, which is the thing that made us what we are today. So please continue to keep us going, keep us coming together like this. Leave your questions in the comment section below. We'll answer them. We'll continue providing these videos. As for the quality of our answers, that depends on the questions you give us. Until next time, good.